Hello there, my name is Eunice Njeri. This is Hustles Zetu. We are delighted to be hosting a guest from PDO Kenya, and he's here to talk to us about mental health in the marketplace. So kindly introduce yourself.
Ahlan wa sahlan. My name is Jeff Chege from PDO Kenya. In full, it's Psychiatric Disability Organization, a community-based organization based in Nakuru, Kenya that focuses on matters mental health. Thank you.
So Jeff, how and what inspired you people to start PDO Kenya?
First of all, our organization, as I said, focuses so much on mental health. So our organization was formed for three purposes. The first thing, more of making mental health accessible for people more so the vulnerable in the grassroots, people who are separated from the mainstream services. The next thing is more of providing human rights based services. That is more, as you can see, like most of the services of mental health, people are being abused, people are being violated, human rights violated when it comes to service provision. So what if we start something that at least can accommodate people, can include people, can respect the rights, can treat people with dignity? So that's another thing of PDO. The other thing is more of also, it was formed more to provide the person-centered services. At PDO, all of our staff, most have experiences with mental illness. You know, almost like 70% people have personal experiences. So people are there to provide services that are tailored to the client, services that at least the client is part of the treatment. Thank you.
Now, PDO Kenya, could you kindly maybe just also explain in detail what entails mental health?
Mental health is more of, we talk about wellness of the mind. Wellness in how you think, how you feel, and how you act. These three things, how you think, how you feel, and how you act. So this is where now you are at a balance. Like how I am operating, how I am relating with other people, how I am feeling, you know, my relationships, everything to do with psychological, spiritual, your physical wealth, and also your social well-being. That is all to do with mental health. Then we have the other side of now where we say mental illness. Yes, now we are talking now about illness. This is now not the state of balance, but now these are illnesses that affect the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we act. This is now where we have several, where you've had, we have depression, we have anxiety, we have bipolar, we have other illnesses such as ADHD, you know, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So this is where all these come. Yeah, now the mental illness. Now also we have distresses, we have stress, we also have burnout. This is now where fatigue, it relates so much with now the work. Yeah, burnout.
Now, wow, this is quite interesting. So you've mentioned that PDO was established to be able to meet a need for people in the society. Now, because we are in the marketplace, tuko kwenye hustle, how was this, how are people affected? And especially in the COVID season, you know, with the loss of jobs, businesses collapsing, how was that season like? Because I also believe that's when we had a lot of suicides happening in the society. How was that like?
Now, I will take you back, then I will explain in how it relates. So, as I said, mental health is illnesses that affect the way you think, mental illness, affecting the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. Now, in most workplaces, there are times we see symptoms. Yeah, now we see symptoms. The first one, absenteeism, you know, the number of days that a person reports to work. You find that now we have reduced turnout. We have reduced concentration when it comes to work. We have a lot of employees struggling with concentration, like forgetting a lot. We have increased conflicts. in workplaces.
Yes,
You know, there is a state we call irritability, where a person just gets extremely angry even over seemingly small matters, you know. It's just something small, but how they react. So how will we say this person is overreacting? We have people who separate themselves, you know, they alienate themselves from work-related activities. They feel
from colleagues, you know?
Yes, they feel so tired when it comes to talking, you know, when it comes to working, you know. There's another thing where we find a state where we call reduced performance. This person, example, was selling 100 a day, now they're operating at 20 and below. We have feelings of sadness, you know. You just see the mood around the workplace is just off. Now, during the time of COVID, these feelings, these symptoms,
they increased.
The
pressures
the pressure, you know, they were too much. Now, we had a very difficult state during COVID. You know, we have lockdowns, which no one knew when the lockdown will be called off. So every time the press will be called, we say, we are extending for another 30-day period, you know.
Oh my God.
Every time it's like that, you know. So business were suffering, because if there is a lockdown, it means the supply is low. You know, people are at attention. Anxiety. No one believes the customer.
And because you see, when that happened, we still had to pay our bills. So if somebody has been told we are going on leave for an uncertain period of time, so anxiety kicked in, because kama unalipa rent, but you're still expected to pay that.
Yes, only few, by the way, only few landlords are accepted to say that for now we are going to waive this amount, so that wanaitwa wapangaji wetu they don't have to suffer. You know, there were a lot of challenges, you know. Some organizations didn't have money. If people are not coming out to buy, where are we going to find money,
reduced salaries,
you know,
as well,
to pay salaries, you know. There were a lot of suffering. Also, there was sickness. Employees are human beings. We were all candidates of sickness. So even if someone comes and sneezes, you know, just a normal sneeze, so everyone is there tensed, you know, this is COVID, this is, you know, a lot of tension. So
does that mean that during that time you were able to see a lot of people now seeking these services now?
Yeah, there were a lot of increase. There was a lot of increase when it comes to these people seeking services. But now also the challenge, you know, the physical interaction was blocked. And now we have lockdown. So we also had to be smart in how we do our things. So we had an innovation, we call it telepsychiatry. This is now where we are able to give services virtually, you know, we are able to reach people virtually. So we were able to start activities such as going to workplaces, example, the isolation wards, you know. We were able to provide something called self-care. I'll talk about it, you know. I'll talk about it when we talk about prevention and measures, you know. So we were able to start now going to the communities, you know, especially for those people who are vulnerable at that moment. But that,
and which groups were these that were vulnerable at that time?
The first one, we have inmates. You know, they were vulnerable.
Kwa jela.
We have
but
doctors.
Why were they, because of now, why were they vulnerable and they are in locked up places?
They are always vulnerable because services haziwafiki, especially the mental health. Unaona? Because now if you have been told you cannot go into jail to cater for their needs, then that means they are conditioned, conditions worsened. And now wenyewe, they need that social support kuongea na watu wao, but now kumekuwa lockdown. So hawafai kuona watu. So what we went, tulienda na our mobile unit, gari yetu imefitiwa with telepsychiatry, TV, Zoom and everything. So tunapeleka gari, tunawa connect na watu wao wakiwa nje. So they talk, you know.
Must have been a hard time, eh?
A hard time.
Okay.
And also now, you know, working, a lot of people are working from home.
Okay.
Services like the need may increase, but now people moving, imekuwa an issue. It was a big challenge back then.
Okay. So what steps can employees or people in the marketplace, let's say ninauza mboga, tuko mama kama 20 kwa line moja. So in our hustles, what steps can we take to reduce chances of somebody getting mentally ill in the society today and in the marketplace basically?
Now I can talk about the society. First of all, nitaguza to prevalence.
Okay.
Kidogo. They always say 1 out of 4
has a mental
illness. And mostly ilianzia like for people going to seek services, you know. 2 out of 3 people will choose not to speak about their issues. Like wananyamazia, only 1 person will speak.
Out, okay.
5 out of 6 of whoever person, you know, work on an issue, 5 out of 6 will go untreated. They will go and listen to. Mostly because maybe of stigma.
Okay.
So measure number 1, providing a space in which people can speak about their issues.
Okay.
You know, like
but how now do I speak to my friend Esther na nikimwambia nilipigwa jana na mzee wangu? She's going to spread that in the marketplace. Yes. So how
now,
do I do
the
that?
second thing, providing the space. By providing the space, it means it's more of nikama being a counselor, you know, the skills of confidentiality, you know. A person is coming with their issues. We do not take that to our advantage. Most of workplaces zinakuanga na hiyo. Someone comes with their issue, then the other people take it to their advantage. We have places where people use that even for promotion, you know.
It is true for
like
promotion
I'll take
purposes,
that,
yes, yeah.
When inakushukisha, mi ninapanda. You know, it's so bad. So if you can provide that conducive environment where people are able to speak, you know, people are able to talk freely about their concerns, that's where we start.
Okay.
The second thing, for employers, we have to identify changes in behavior pattern. Like this was a person alikuwa anakuja early in work. Ameanza kuchelewa. Something might be cooking. This is a person hygiene yake imebadilika kwa kazi. You know, ana speak anyhow. Kuna burnout, a state of emotional exhaustion. Have you ever heard ati hawa manases wanaongelesha watu vibaya?
Ni kweli tumesikia, yeah.
Burnout, where a state of emotional exhaustion. This is where you are so exhausted mentally, physically, like you are so empty in how you give. Like
but
it's more
let me
a
ask,
body.
Sorry to interrupt. So assuming I'm in a workplace today or I'm an employer, I have 50 staff members. At what time am I able to monitor my staff? Because they have targets to meet, we have bills to pay, I have salaries to pay. At what time should I, as an employer, be able to monitor whatever is happening, you know, with my staff members? Yeah.
As we say, people have connections.
Okay.
And also if you are that employer who don't check on employees, maybe it's so unfortunate that maybe things will be happening, then wewe unajua last minute. We've seen of employers who talk one-on-one with, you know, staff members. You know, it's not about just paying salaries, but it's also about following up. How are you doing? Is there any challenge you're going through, you know? As also for colleagues, you know, you are there, not even just the employer, but more so the colleagues. You are observing these behavior patterns, you know. True. People come with issues. There's something we call work-life balance. You know, where you are able to balance between work, life, that way. So if there is any challenge that affects your work, it will definitely affect home. And if there is any challenge that affects your at home, it might bring to work. So the employer also has a very big task to check within. Am I providing that space? Am I conducive? Do I have my own issues that I'm projecting to my employees?
Let me ask, assuming I'm now that employer who wants to provide that space, can I bring in an organization such as PDO Kenya to cater for that?
Now, there are things, I've mentioned only 2 of them. There are stress management training. that most of organizations are doing. I've done that before. As
Yeah.
PDO, that is what we do.
Okay.
We have stress management trainings where we come and equip the staff, we capacity build them on how to manage their stress effectively. There are self-care retreat programs. We call them self-care retreat program. And as I said, I'll define self-care. These are just activities that we do daily to take care of our mental health and increase it, maybe long-term or short-term. It can be exercise. It can be meaningful communications, you know. It can be good dieting and good food. It can mean teaching them like the good sleeping habits, you know, and also taking them out sometimes, one in a while. We call them team building activities.
Wow.
Few organizations do that.
Okay.
But the organizations which do that, like we take employees out, we go and treat them, you know. At least people get to unwind from stress. People get to relax.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So on that note, Jeff, we are going to end part 1 of our conversation on mental health in the marketplace. My name is Eunice Njeri. We are at the Vicmark Hotel, the Cradle of Comfort. Vicmark Hotel offers you accommodation facilities, conference facilities, a restaurant, and they have a rooftop lounge right in the middle of Nakuru City. My name again is Eunice Njeri. This is Hustle Zetu. Let your light shine in the marketplace.